Hey guys, I'm here with Joe Bodet from Compass Home Inspections, and right now what we're doing is we're doing a septic inspection. This particular system is a little bit different in that it's not your traditional gravity fed. This is kind of the second step septic system. It's got a pump involved. It's a low pressure system. So, Joe, you want to give us kind of a brief overview of what we're looking at and what's happening?
Sure. This is our outlet riser on the septic tank. And then what we're doing is we're looking down at our baffle and our outlet pipe, which actually runs over into our pump tank. And then off of our pump tank's basically like a sump pump in there. And it basically pumps up to our soil absorption field. We'll put a couple 100 gallons in there and verify that the drain field and all is not saturated.
So basically, we flush the toilet in the house, and it goes into this first tank.
All of our solids drop correct, and then we get our effluent or gray water, which is released out into the pump tank.
Into the next tank.
Yeah,
so let's go over and check out the second tank.
Okay.
So to really kind of simplify this is our solids tank.
That's correct.
And then there's an overflow from the solids tank with the liquid to the liquid tank, which
That's
is the
correct.
effluent, right?
That's correct.
Over to this tank here.
And to me, there's inside of this is our pump tank.
So this is a different type of system in that it has two tanks. And right now what you're doing is you're filling that tank with just water.
That's
you're just running water.
That's correct. To get this pump to push water up to our drain field. And then, well, as you can see, we have a float here too as well.
So float similar to a sump pump.
Sump pump, correct.
Or even a bilge pump for the boat.
Yes, and then
fill up and then kick on and then the pump kicks on.
That's correct. Yes.
And then from here, this system, this second tank,
Yes.
then is the overflow of the pump, and the pump pumps down
Pump's
to.
actually up at probably to a higher ground because it's got to be up above our soil. Our drain field's actually above our pump
higher.
tank, so we got to pump it up top.
So if you turn around and look there, you'll see that we're looking at, it goes out into a higher grade, which is why it needs the pump. Because otherwise, if we were going down here, we wouldn't need the pump. It would be a ground,
Exactly.
a ground system.
Groundwater, runoff water, and all saturate our drain field, and also we do is try to keep our drain field as high as we can on our properties. So,
When we look at systems like this, the big concern is that the system's going to fail. So what would be, say, like the three major things that would cause a septic system like this to fail?
most of the time, up on no effluent filters and stuff like that, allowing solids to get up into our drain fields. Corrosion and all, and deterioration of our tanks. Sometimes we get water softener systems and all that are brine discharges that are discharging in there. Ultimately, salt's going to tear up our tank as well too. So that, and just more recommendations on the risers and all, to get the risers with the lids and all, so that way you have access to both sides of your inlet and your outlet tank, all your components and all associated with your tank.
Okay. And the one thing I just want to note here, because this is sometimes clients have a question on this. They'll say, well, I don't understand how my system failed. I don't have any backups. I don't have any clogs, right? I flush the toilet, nothing is different to me as the user of the house, but yet my system's failed. So, why is it that I have a failed system, but yet the toilet still flushes?
Sometimes we get into saturated drain fields. We get clogs in. Actually, if we didn't have effluent filters and all on our tanks, that would release solids and all to block up all of our drain field. We could actually get tree roots and all that would grow into there and actually break it up and clog everything up. That would stop any water from going out to the field where it needs to go.
Okay, and are there any other components underground we're missing here, like a J-box or anything like that on the system?
No.
Okay, so this is a pretty simple LLP system.
That's correct. Yeah.
And then there's an alarm. If this pump fails, it sets off an alarm inside the house.
Inside that way, and then usually we set them alarms, are usually set at about 80% of the tank, so that way you can go and you have time to get someone out here to get everything.
Pump it out and fix it.
That's correct. Yes.
Okay, great. And any key to just keeping a septic system, well maintained to get the most
I
amount
just say like pumping them out every 3 to 5 years. It's more you give into your system a little bit, your system giving you a little as well too. So.
Okay. And then Ridex, stuff like that, is that good?
I don't recommend it. I'm thinking if you let the natural source work in with the tank and all, it would go. And like I said, just pump every 3 to 5 years.
Just keep the pump.
That's correct. Sometimes you get garbage disposals. We don't recommend the garbage disposal with septic systems, but if they're used, we recommend that more frequent pumping, so the solids and all that are getting discharged out there aren't breaking down for us.
And then what about paper and things like that? Just
Feminine products and stuff like that, bleaches and all. So yeah, baby wipes.
None of that. Just regular septic-friendly toilet paper, and that's the only thing that should be on the toilet.
That's correct.
Okay. All right, guys. So there's some great tips on how to, maintain your septic system, and also, the overview of the first level of inspection.
Thank you.